At this point, you probably realize that the most difficult part of any 1031 exchange is locating, securing, and identifying your candidate or target properties within 45 days. This is because the 45-day time period moves quickly, and often it is just difficult to locate a property or properties which fit your need. So let's recap identification a little bit, shall we? First, you must identify within 45 days of the closing of your exchange or relinquished property. Also, your exchange must be in writing and submitted in a timely manner. Most exchangers identify to their facilitator, but it is possible to identify to an appropriate third party, and the rules for those parties are listed elsewhere under identification rules. Now, when you identify, you must use one of two identification rules or one exception. The first rule is the 3 property rule, in which you can identify up to 3 properties of any value. The second rule is the 200% rule. You can identify more than 3, but the total aggregate value of the property you identify cannot exceed 200% of the property you sold. The exception is known as the 95% exception, meaning you can identify more than 3 properties, and the property is valued at more than 200% of the property you sold, but when you do, you must acquire at least 95% of the total value of the property identified. So it might as well be the 100% exception, correct? Also, whatever property you acquire must be a property that you've previously identified. Now, if you fail to identify within 45 days, your exchange proceeds will be returned to you on the 46th day. However, if you identify within the 45-day period but fail to acquire a replacement property, your exchange funds will be returned to you after your 180th day. And lastly, if you are still within your 45-day identification period, you can revoke a previous identification and re-identify new property. Now on to our online identification tool. Fill out the nearby form so we can send you a link to the online identification tool together with a unique code. You'll need this code in the next step to serve as the equivalent of your digital signature. So submit the form and let's get started with your identification process.